Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Glendale Housing Authority meeting of January 13, 2009. May we have a roll call for the authority, please?
Authority members: Draymond.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Parazian.
Here.
Quintero. Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Yusefian.
Here. May we have your report, please?
The agenda for the January 13, 2009 meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, January 8, 2009 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Second. Okay, the minutes will be approved as submitted. What's next, please?
Oral communication discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision, and the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for an investigation and a report.
Great. At this point, we have one card. Herbert Milano. Milano?
Good afternoon, Chairman Yusefian, members of the Housing Authority, and city staff. My name is Herbert Milano. One of the things that fascinate me about coming before you and through this whole process is that the exercise of democracy, meaning that the public gets an opportunity to come before you to express their concerns and to appeal for policies that will improve the quality of life of the residents, is that oftentimes we give our hopes and align them to those individuals who are going to run for office. So while a candidate is running for office, they can make all kinds of promises. Some candidates can go into a room and promise individuals each different thing and nobody knows about it. Sometimes contradictory promises. But nonetheless, when a candidate comes to someone and says, I promise to improve the conditions for youth, or I wished and I concur with you with regard to the needs for parks and open space, or I wholly support your ideas about after-school programs, and then you get elected through all of our efforts, then there's nothing to hold you, to that promise whatsoever. You can renege on it, you can ignore it, until it comes to the next election. In the meantime, 4 years are gone. And so I can take a look at activities that transpired some years ago. And here I have a strategy report for youth that came out in the year 2002, first in the month of April of 2002. And I look at the quality of this report, and it's a magnificent report. The staff created, this is the Housing, the Police Department, and Parks and Recreation, and created a report that stated what the problems were with youth, where the deficiencies are, where the gaps are, and what the recommendations are. And it's an outstanding report. And it is when I look at a report like this, and I said, who initiated this? And I know that this is being initiated internally, because I don't see councilmen on a week-to-week basis or a month-to-month basis on your own initiating these ideas in public. And so oftentimes, especially during campaign time, when people begin to ask me questions such as, who truly is true to their word? Sometimes I tell them that I have a very hard time really saying who really is true to their word, from the words they say before the campaign to after. Oftentimes I'm asked, questions about the city manager. And especially during the campaign, there are some individuals that say, well, don't you think he should be fired? And I get that question asked many times. And I said, well, you really cannot separate what a city manager does from at least 3 of the councilmen in their direction. So when I look at a report like this, and there was another report concerning parks, and there was another more extensive report on similar social issues, that if a city manager were to promote something like this and gets no traction from the city council, it goes nowhere. And so in my opinion, if the city manager were under the guidance and direction of 3 other councilmen who had other objectives, he would align himself to that. So you cannot separate where it's with the direction that a city takes and saying it's the blame of the city manager, or without saying the councilmen who came to be elected were true to their word. And so when I look at a report like this that states what the objectives of the city should be, what the funding should be, and then find that year after year the only monies that are really targeted at the money that comes from HUD, said, well, where is our role? Where is the role of the city government and the councilmen, especially those of you who are advocating for a little bit more transparency, to take these plans that were written long ago with a significant amount of effort and implement them? And that's, I think, the gap that I see time after time, whether it is about recreation in parks or open space or youth programs or families at risk or aligning with the school district. I find that the well-laid plans that have been set out are not implemented or gone back to, unfortunately. And that's my opinion after observing the Housing Authority and the City Council for hundreds of meetings that I've attended. And it is my hope that this coming election, that people really take a look at where we are vis-a-vis where we were back in 2002. Thank you.
Thank you. That was my last card. Or communications closed. What's next, please?
Next is a business agenda, and that's 6A is Director of Community Development and Housing regarding award presentation to the 2 Glendale winners of the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials 2009 poster contest. Presentation only.
Thank you. And with that, I'll go to Adam.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the Housing Authority, Peter Zovak's going to give you some introductory comments, but I will say today we are very pleased to celebrate one of our programs and to celebrate 2 of the beneficiaries of our programs through Habitat for Humanity. So, Peter?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the Housing Authority. The Glendale Housing Authority is a member of NARO, the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. They are the leading housing and community development advocate for affordable housing nationwide. They work very closely with housing authorities, HUD, elected officials on the federal level, and working on programs such as public housing, Section 8, CDBG, and home. Recently, NARO, in conjunction with Housing America, sponsored a nationwide poster contest. Children associated with affordable housing and community development programs nationwide were asked to submit posters based upon the 2009 theme, What Home Means to Me. Staff is pleased to announce that 2 entries from the City of Glendale were selected as poster winners, and we'd like to introduce the artists to you, highlight their work, and present some commendations and awards to them. The 2 artists are Silva Harikian and Montserrat Diaz. Montserrat could not be here today due to a last-minute school emergency, but her mother, Teresa Diaz, is here to represent her.
Good afternoon.
Both Silva and Montserrat are residents of Glendale Housing Authority Habitat for Humanity home ownership projects here in town. Silva lives at the Vine Pacific project that was completed back in 2005, and Montserrat lives at the Palmer Avenue project that was completed in 2007. Prior to the presentation of the awards, I'd like to ask Silva and Teresa to say a few words and maybe describe their artwork and inspiration for it.
I'm very proud that I won and I'm excited, and I just wanted to show what my picture means. And there was an eye in the picture, which stands that that's my eye, and I keep an eye on my house, and the door opens a road to my future, and there is a magnifying glass which under it is the world, and I keep an eye on the world and my house. And the key opens a door to my road too, and the window, I look out the window with my eye, and I also see the future. And I'm very happy, and yeah.
Thank you. And the next picture.
Actually, you know, technology nowadays, right? Unfortunately, Montserrat couldn't be here today. And instead, I have a text from her. Hope you don't mind. She sent me a text. I said, Monette, they want a few words. She says, Mom, I know I can't be there, but let me read what she wrote. And of course, this is text lingo. It took me a while to get started drawing my contest entry. I had trouble figuring out exactly what my feelings were. I got frustrated in figuring out and putting my thoughts into the picture. Together, my mother came to my rescue. Together and we finally thought through what she wanted. And she said, what better to put on a picture of what home means to me, but my own home. The addition of the dove is a figural representation of something any member of a Habitat home has or is sure to feel. A feeling of peace always engulfs my home, no matter how annoying a house full of teenagers can be. Each ray I drew shooting away from the dove represents a member of my family. As for technique goes, I chose to leave what consider a spiritual aspect sketchy in its pure sense, while I chose to use color and animate the lower portion, which encloses my home and the walls and trees. That's her text.
Mr. Chair,
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Draymond.
I just had a couple of questions. Can you tell me how old our artists are and where they go to school?
Well, let me ask you, Silva, could you come up?
I am 11. I go to Toll Middle School.
Okay, and Montserrat?
And Montserrat, when she entered the contest, was a senior in high school, and now she is attending Pasadena Community College. And it's actually her first semester. She's doing a winter session, but this is why she's not here.
Great, thank you. One thing I also would like to let the public know is these two fine ladies who have won these awards were chosen from among 150 nationwide entries. So it wasn't just Glendale, this was nationwide. And these two people were chosen. Their pictures will be hanging in the Capitol Hill. So that's a great honor for them. And it would be there this spring. I intend to go to Washington on February. I'll keep an eye for your pictures, by the way, when I get there. So at this time, I'm going to come down because I got a couple of commendations for you. Okay, this is, come on over. Don't be shy. Okay, Sylvia, this is a recognition and commendation on behalf of the Housing Authority for your great artwork. All right. And this is one for Montserrat. Give that to her. Don't go anywhere. At this time, I'm going to ask the Vice Chair of the Housing to come down. He has some commendations from the Governor of the State of California.
Hold on till we get our photographers in place.
So hold them up like that. Okay. There we go. Okay, just wait there.
Congratulations. I remember when we had the ribbon cutting at your home, your Habitat. Excuse me. And this is a real honor. In fact, it chokes me up. So the Governor Schwarzenegger has, first of all, this is for you, Silva. It is my pleasure to join the City of Glendale in congratulating you on winning the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Official Poster Contest. I am always impressed by the great things that young Californians accomplish, and your artistic achievements in this contest are no exception. Your talents know no bounds, and with you leading the way, our state's future is in good hands. I know I join your family, friends, teachers, and fellow Californians in saying how proud we are of you. Keep up the fantastic work, and you'll make your dreams come true. Again, I send my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for happiness and success, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Isn't that nice? I show it to you. Maybe you show it to me. And then for your daughter, you must be a very proud mother, huh?
I am.
And so Maserat also has the same proclamation, same wording. So you can pick show now for the cameras. Good. And yes.
That side. Face the cameras and say cheese. Done?
Congratulations.
Don't go, because at this time, I'm going to ask some of our representatives from our district, Congressman out of Schiff. We have Phil Williams here. He's got something for you.
Well, on behalf of the congressman, we just wanted to come present a certificate to both of you. And it is a certificate of special congressional recognition, and we want to congratulate you on your accomplishments. Congratulations.
And Susie Jacobs, who's representing State Assemblyman Paul Krikorian.
On behalf of Assistant Majority Leader Paul Krikorian, heavy little chick, and your daughter as well, congratulations on sharing your insight in such a wonderful, artistic, creative, meaningful way. Thank you.
Look on that side and take a picture.
Show your cert. Come on.
And Joseph Solis from the State Senate, Carol.
I'll read this on behalf of the State Senate, Carol. On behalf of the State Senate, I join the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials in congratulating you on winning the contest. And I'd also like to salute your artistic excellence. Congratulations and continue the good work.
Don't go yet. We're not done yet. I know, this is a big deal, so we're treating it as. At this time, I think we have a couple of things for you. Here's a little certificate to honor you, Sylvia. And we made some calendars with your picture in there, so you have a few copies for keepsake. And also a savings bond for the amount of $100. There we go. And we have the same things for two. Thank you very much.
That's it, I think.
That's it. What's next, please?
Next is authority member or staff comments.
Hearing. What's next, please?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. We're adjourned.